It's Eleanor, and I'm here with another Whole30 cookbook. This one has 150 delicious and totally compliant recipes. I love how Melissa leaves notes. This is in the front of the book. It says, "For my Whole30ers, you inspire me daily, and I'm so proud of you all." These are the contents of what this cookbook consists of: eggs, red meat, pork, poultry, fish, shellfish, side dishes, sauces, dressings, nibbles, and drinks, basics. And then it tells you what the Whole30 is, gives you rules, and gets you started with the Whole30 along with kitchen essentials. This is just a quick look at the Whole30 kitchen essentials. And then let's go ahead and take a look at some of the recipes in this book. This is the sweet potato breakfast stacks. So basically, it is a piece of sweet potato, kind of like a piece of toast with some poached eggs, spinach, and bacon. It's really delicious. And I love a good steak with potatoes. So this is the strip steak with crispy salt and vinegar mashed potatoes. Here are some of the things that you will find on the page. It tells you how many servings there are. It talks about the prep time, the cook time, and then it gives you a total of all the time that it's going to take you to make this meal, of course, your ingredients and the directions. And then there's a tip on here, and the suggestion is to let the steak stand at room temperature for 30 minutes before cooking, if possible. That's what you'll find on all the recipe pages. Tips, cook time, prep time, along with the ingredient. Also, I like the description here. It says these tarragon butter top steaks are served with potatoes inspired by chip, deep fried potato wedges served in English mugs that are salted and sprinkled with malt vinegar. To make these baby Yukon Gold potatoes are boiled in salt water with vinegar until soft, tossed in melted ghee, smashed flat, and baked at high heat until crisp. Then seasoned with additional salt and vinegar right before serving. I just read to you is at the top of the page, and that's before it gives you the ingredients and the directions. I don't know about you, but that made me want potatoes. This one is chicken cutlets with bitter greens, caramelized pears, and shallots. And it says, pairing the sweetness of fruit, in this case pears, with mildly bitter greens such as radicchio and escarole, I hope I said that right, creates a wonderful balance of flavors. This is the recipe that is on the cover of the book. And it is chicken marabella and sauteed kale. This is roasted turkey breast with Brussels sprouts and squash. And the tip for this recipe, if you can't find delicata squash, substitute a small butternut squash, 1 to 1.5 pounds. Instead of slicing it, cut it into 1 inch cubes. So this one has a tip. Asian seared scallop salad. Scallops are so buttery and yummy. They just melt when they're cooked right. The key to perfectly seared scallops is a really hot pan that quickly caramelizes their natural sugars and creates a tantalizing golden crust on both sides. The scallops are ready to turn when they easily release from the pan. Cast iron is terrific, but not necessary as long as the skillet is fairly heavy. In this next section, we're going to look at, these are the side dishes: roasted root veggies with balsamic shallot vinaigrette. Once the vegetables are in the oven, you can pretty much walk away and do other things while they sizzle and turn incredibly sweet and tender. This is the perfect side to pork roast or pork chop. So what I love about this Whole30 cookbook is there's tips throughout the cookbook, but I like the prefacing stories that each recipe has. There may be tips within that. There's also recipes for sauces in here. There's also nibbles and drinks. So if you want a snack, this one is guacamole stuffed mini peppers. There is no picture, but just by reading the title, it sounds delicious. These crunchy little peppers filled with creamy, spicy guacamole make terrific party food. Not only are they delicious, but an assortment of bright yellow, orange, and red peppers with a swath of creamy green avocado in the centers visually pop on a platter. The tip on this page says to perfectly crisp Cook bacon. Preheat the oven to 375 Fahrenheit. Line a baking sheet with aluminum foil. Place a wire rack on top of the foil. Arrange bacon slices in a single layer on the rack. Be careful not to overlap. Use 2 baking sheets if necessary. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the thickness of bacon. Transfer to a paper towel lined platter to drain. Cool completely before crumbling. So let's see what is in this recipe. The guacamole stuffed mini peppers. It just sounded great to me because there's guacamole in it. So you're gonna need, yeah, avocado, tomatoes, green onions, cilantro, serrano chili pepper, lime juice, teaspoon salt, cayenne pepper, the mini sweet peppers, and Whole30 compliant bacon. Side note, once you've had Whole30 compliant bacon, you can never eat the regular bacon again. Anyways, this is the Whole30 Cookbook.